This is vicious.
Delicious.
And before we start the New Year's Eve Wheels of Fury YouTube video of the year, we just want to say Happy New Year's.
Yeah, it's been quite the year. With a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of chaos, a lot of so many other things that we will get into. And it's going to be a good one like always.
So ladies, lock up your daughters, because the boys are in town. Because we are vicious
And delicious.
Amy and Matt here. I'm Killer Kyle. Wheels of Fury. And it's New Year's Eve. Yeah. So we will be talking to you in a minute. Just that we'd start the video like we always do. And as you can see, we got ourselves a little smorgasbord.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Spready cooper time. Got some mushroom caps working right now in the air fryer.
Yes, sir. Nobody can resist my balls. Anyways, we will talk to you in a bit. What is another year?
Yes.
Gone by, 2023. So I know it's early, but it gives us enough time to whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, every year just goes by like, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it seems like whenever we start a new year, we're going along through it, and then before we know it, we're already halfway through the year, and then before we know it, we're bringing in the new year.
yeah. And I mean, it's one of those things where, I don't know, it just started off in tragedy, it seems.
Yeah.
Losing Jay Briscoe.
Yeah.
It's one of the most, I think, shocking things. Like, it was just kind of like, yeah, it was terrible. Because a guy that died so young.
Yeah.
And my age.
Yep.
Which, you know, in itself, it's like, it only takes one accident,
Yes.
you know, but
Yeah, all it takes is one thing to go wrong, and your life could be over like that.
yeah. So, I mean, besides all of that, it was an interesting year for a lot of reasons. I think the companies, WWE, AEW, changed. It kind of did like a trade-off, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, last year you had a lot of, you had a lot of things like Bryan Danielson going to AEW, and then you had Cody Rhodes go back to WWE.
Yeah, like, look in and of itself what has gone on within the last year. The amount of people, like, there hasn't really been that many last year that went to AEW. But look at the amount of people that went from AEW to WWE. Punk returned. Cody went back. You had Dragon Lee go to AEW. Jade Cargill.
NXT?
Well, NXT, yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, Punk returned. Cody went back. You had Dragon Lee go to AEW. Jade Cargill.
NXT?
Well, NXT, yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, WWE in general.
Right.
So, like, yeah, Cody, Punk, Jade, Dragon Lee. There was another one. There's at least 5 that went, like, transitioned from AEW WWE, and it's like, huh. Well, if that already has happened, like, it wasn't one of those things where it was like, consistently throughout the year, people were like, going from AEW to WWE or vice versa. But there were little things that happened slowly that were like, oh, that's a big move. Whether it have been, you know, Jade Cargill leaving AEW to go to WWE, because, I mean, she was, I mean, Matt and I had talked about this before. They gave, in AEW, they gave Jade Cargill the Goldberg treatment.
Yeah.
However long she spent training at probably the Nightmare Factory or whatever, and then, burst on the scene in AEW, on a tear, undefeated, TBS champion, then eventually loses the TBS championship, and then not long after that, leaves AEW and going to WWE.
No, yeah. Unfortunately, she hasn't been on TV very long.
Yeah, I mean, she's done a few little short appearances. Like, she did an appearance at, was it Halloween Havoc? Or was it before that? Where she was like, had this like throne,
Oh, yeah.
or whatever.
Yes. And I mean, her mom passed away, succumbed to cancer.
Right.
So I'm not quite sure when she will be back. But it would just seem like, okay. I mean, I'm sure she'll be going back to NXT or wherever she ends up.
Well, I mean, she did these few appearances, and I'm sure she's still in the process of, training.
Yeah.
And so, she, of course, grieving the passing of her mother. Then, of course, the holidays being right around the corner. So, having the time spent with family and friends or whatever during the holidays. And then, whenever she's going to, start wrestling, we'll have to see when that's going to become the upcoming year.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I think that, again, WWE went from McMahon owning the company to him not owning the company anymore.
Right.
Then to him coming back, and now officially it's all Triple H's baby.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not majority shareholder, but the majority of the decisions being made in WWE are being made by Endeavor.
Yeah.
And so that, and then, Triple H is a lot, I think maybe the final say as far as creative-wise, but like any major decisions you could say are going through Endeavor.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then of course it's kind of funny because you think about last year, and you think about, 2 years ago actually, and you think about Bryan Danielson at WrestleMania 37, was it?
Yes.
Going into the 3-way match for the Universal title.
Yeah.
And then a few months later, well, actually he left, then in September, he goes over to AEW.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool. This year, WrestleMania, you had the last appearance for WrestleMania anyways, of one Adam Copeland or Edge.
Yeah. Yeah, he has that incredible match, Hell in a Cell match against Balor at WrestleMania, and then he's going along, he has his farewell match, if you will, with Sheamus on SmackDown, and it's like, oh, okay, what does the future hold for Adam? No indication of, him even having thoughts any rumors, any indication that he was interested in going to another company, and then it was like a month later, he is showing up in AEW, and I was like, all right, cool. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the WWE did not want him to wrestle as much as he wanted to. They
Maybe.
were concerned about his health and his neck and all that stuff. But obviously, he could still go.
Right.
So I guess he thought, okay, my best friend is in another company, and why am I not there? I can have a lot more chances. When you think about it, he actually had shared the ring with Sting, and yes, that rhymed.
Yes.
So, speaking of Sting, we find out this year that next year he will be retiring
Yes.
at Revolution.
Yes, and also this. Also, we find out that Brian Danielson also has intentions of retiring
Yeah.
next year. Probably by the end of the year, I would imagine, is
Yeah.
when Danielson's going to retire. Sting, his final match is going to be in March at Revolution. And of course, in a city that Sting has a lot of history with, and an arena that has a lot of history wrestling-wise, Greensboro, North Carolina, the Greensboro Coliseum.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's going to be pretty cool. And I think that, yeah, Sting has had a long career. I think his time in WWE could have been better, but
Yeah,
it is what it is. And I said, obviously, when he went to All Elite, I was skeptic.
yeah,
And then watching him dive off the fucking rail.
yep,
Interesting fact, and we will actually finish the World's End
yes,
play-by-play, spoilers. But I think watching Edge, Adam Copeland, whatever, dive off the what the hell was that?
it was a wall basically.
Yeah,
Like they were fighting through the crowd, and then you see Adam go behind a curtain, and it's like, okay, where is he going? And then you see him on, on like the second level, and he steps over the rail, and he's on top of the wall, and then he just dives off the wall onto Nick Wayne and Christian, I believe, and it's like, alrighty then.
I just find the older they get, the more extreme.
Well, I mean, okay, we have talked about, the several different things that Sting did in AEW.
Yeah,
Had never seen him do anything like that in his career, WCW or otherwise. Him doing that and his TNT title match against Christian. It's like, well, he really didn't do anything that crazy in WWE.
no,
Probably the craziest thing Edge ever did in his WWE tenure was when he fucking speared Jeff off the titles at 17.
and that's the thing. Like, I don't know why they're not allowed to do that anymore. Like, that's kind of, they changed their dynamic quite a bit, and I think that's because you talk about Triple H owning the company now, well, being the president, whatever you want,
Yeah,
talent relations.
yeah.
I just found out this morning that Kevin Dunn got let go.
I had seen yesterday that he was planning on leaving.
Oh, okay.
So Either way, Kevin Dunn is no longer going to be with the company.
Well, it's about fucking time.
Well, I mean, that man's been with the company since 90s, at least.
Yeah, about.
So, quite a while, about 20 years or so.
Yeah. There's been a lot of big pushes in WWE,
Yeah.
you know. One man in particular is L.A. Knight.
Yeah!
Who ever thought a guy from Impact Wrestling in 2016 would ever be part of the main event scene years later?
Oh, I know, right?
And I mean, he's not there yet, but I'm pretty sure it's soon to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Roman Reigns has been the longest WWE champion.
Of the modern era.
Of the modern era, being the champion after 3 years.
Yes.
I mean, he added the WWE title to his arsenal at WrestleMania 38.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens next year with that. I don't know.
Yep.
And I guess we could talk about it now. The hell froze over.
Yep. CM Punk going back to WWE after 10 years.
Yeah. Well, Randy Orton came back. We knew that was going to happen.
Yep.
There was always talks about every time a wrestling event was going on in Chicago, it was going to be CM Punk coming back. And obviously we all thought that they were full of shit. Well,
yeah. Because here we are, Survivor Series. War Games match happens. Randy and his team wins. And it's like, alright, lower third, fade to black, show's over.
nope.
And they're showing Seth and Randy and Sammy and all of them in the ring celebrating, you know. Camera goes wide, and it's like, why the fuck is the camera going wide? And up on the screen, best in the world. Cult of personality hits. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Never in a million years did I think that would happen. I mean, I don't think we thought it would happen.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I think he burned his bridges a long time ago with WWE, but once again, fans leaving persuaded a lot of people to come back. And I mean, there's a rumor, I hope it's true, AJ Lee will be returning to WWE at the Women's Royal Rumble.
That could potentially happen, yes.
So,
Apparently, AJ Lee and I guess Punk have been doing some in-ring work, and she's been training him that.
yeah, I saw some pictures recently.
Yeah.
They were hot, I mean, they were nice. So, we also must talk about the unfortunate passing of Wyndham Rotunda.
Yes.
It's one of those things, just like Jamin, where you go on the internet and there, like we knew he had heart issues,
Right.
and we knew he had COVID,
Yes.
and then that ended up having him with heart issues. He was supposed to wear this thing. He thought it was bullshit, so he took it off, and then like died in his sleep.
Yeah. Well, I had heard that he forgot it. He went to lay down for a nap, and yeah. So, with his heart issues, he was supposed to be wearing a thing that, in case, like, if he was in his, was sleeping in the night or whatever, and his heart stopped or was slow, it would jolt his heart and, keep beating, like a defibrillator. And I guess he didn't want to wear it or forgot to put it on or whatever the hell it was. Laid down for a nap and, his alarm went off. And I think it was JoJo went into check on him and he was blue in the face. And, yeah.
So, yeah, that was two big shocks this year.
Yeah.
So, it's, you know, we don't know these people, but in some ways, you know, because we kind of watch them on a weekly basis, it sort of feels like we do,
Yeah, for sure.
but, and then of course we had a lot of, like, comebacks in the music business. Guns N' Roses coming back. Somebody else reunited. I will think about it later.
I think Creed's reuniting.
Yeah. Must feel so good to reunite. So,
Reunited and it feels so good. Yeah.
yeah. It's always nice to see bands do that. I can't believe them. Well, anyways, I'll think about it.
Yeah, he'll think about it and, you know, put it below or whatever.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's just been a lot of cool things happening in the wrestling world.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it's one of those things, I keep saying that, but
Yeah.
the truth is that it'll get better. And we talked about that last year. And I think maybe the year before, WWE has stepped up its game quite a lot.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with this recent merger with Endeavor now, and TKO and all this, sky's the limit as to what WWE will do in the future. I mean, fuck, we've already got them doing a show in Australia, another show in Australia, because they did one a couple of years ago, Super Showdown.
Yeah.
They're going to have Elimination Chamber in Australia. They're going to be in Germany. They're going to be in France. They're going to be in another place I can't think of offhand. But they've already got a few places in store for big events in the upcoming year, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the one thing that I don't know if it was exactly missing, but it was like, why not explore going to different continents or countries and do pay-per-views or
Yeah.
premium live events, if you will.
Because they don't really only seem to be for the better part of at least 15 to 20 years that WWE was touring other countries, but it was only for, you know, live events and non-televised events. Yeah, you might have the odd, you know, Monday Night Raw in England somewhere, or, you know, like a SmackDown in the UK, or, you know, something like that. But generally speaking, they were in the United States, and pretty much all the pay-per-views were in the US or Canada.
Yeah.
And then, you know, to have this, or last year, Backlash in Puerto Rico, Money in the Bank in London, Elimination Chamber in Montreal, so on and so forth. It's like, yeah, we're getting back to how it was, maybe not as big, but like during the 80s.
Yeah.
Or into the 90s.
And I feel like pay-per-views, premium live events are becoming a big deal again.
Yes.
Once again, thinking that, you know, Vince is gone, let's do things the right way.
Yeah.
I mean, WrestleMania was always special,
Oh yeah, of course.
but like, you know, like say Backlash in Puerto Rico, the stage looked different. I think it's similar in some capacity, but at the same time, you know, it's something different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, next year I don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
So we'll see, you know, like Kyle said, Berlin,
Yeah.
Perth, You know?
Yeah.
You talk of something huge, AEW this year, All In London, England, Wembley Stadium.
Yep. Next year they're going right back there in August again.
You know, yeah, of course, you have that whole fallout with Phil, and
Yeah.
so, yeah. Anyways, while Kyle, you talk, I'm gonna do something.
Okay, well, yeah, like, you have Punk, have a falling out with AEW and going to WWE, Another guy that I think is worth mentioning, having gone from AEW to WWE, is Cody Rhodes. Because Cody, essentially started up the company with, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and of course you got Tony Khan as like the CEO, president, whatever of the company, because he's like he's the owner, I believe, of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and so of course you have him being a huge fan of us, looking like, hey, we, could use some money or some help with starting up this company. Would you help us? And yeah, AEW kicked off, and it's been going now for 4 years, 4 to 5 years at least. And yeah, you have, them doing a show in London, in Wembley. They're gonna go to Wembley again, and whatever else is in their books in the future for AEW.
Oops. Didn't get it all fancy like usual. But I figured, oops, sorry. We've been doing this show a long time now, but we need to have our own championship. I don't know if it's hokey or not, but
Meh.
it looks nice.
Yeah.
And Kyle got me a present, wrapped it up in this gold paper.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a championship for a long time, and so, yeah, here's my chance.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the prettiest looking thing in the world, but I mean, it'll suffice.
Yeah, so I'll try to put it somewhere for our shows,
Yeah.
but yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah. For Christmas, one of the things I got from Matt was this little wee Siamese cat figure, the ornament that's got Christmas lights hanging out of its mouth, and it was in the box wrapped up in that gold paper, and yeah, Matt took the paper and decided to turn it into a championship belt. I believe, Wheels of Fury heavyweight title. Yeah. So, yeah. We'll put that up somewhere and have that, displayed for future videos,
Yeah.
which is gonna be pretty cool. It's actually a pretty good idea. I mean, Matt and I have, when they've had, WWE's done Night of Champions, Clash of Champions, whatever, I would bring down my big belt, and Matt would get one of his belts, and we would, do a production video with both the belts, but like to have, our version of, that championship's pretty cool. Now, I mean, it's nothing like, Matt Cardona or Zack Ryder's internet championship, but nevertheless, look for this in upcoming videos, prediction videos. Probably the first video would be probably New Year's Eve, I would imagine. So, look for that in the video when it comes along. Yeah, as I was saying, Cody Rhodes start up AEW with Kenny and the Young Bucks, and Tony Khan as like their CEO, president, general manager, whatever. He's got like 4 or 5 titles. Tony Khan does, and then them bringing in people that you may not have necessarily been familiar with, like a Darby Allin, like a Sammy Guevara, like a Jungle Boy, like Alex Reynolds, John Silver, Sonny Kiss, Janela, the list goes on and on. But also them bringing in familiar faces that I think would have drawn eyes to the product, like Chris Jericho, like Sting, like CM Punk, and I say like Adam Copeland, Adam Cole, like Bryan Danielson, like Jon Moxley, and I can go on and on and on. So for that to happen, and then for seemingly Tony Khan and Cody Rhodes having, I guess, a conflict of interest as far as ideas for what they wanted Cody to do in the future, and I think it was just Tony Khan had his own ideas, Cody had his ideas. They couldn't come to an agreement on. Oh, okay, James. Yeah. Them having a conflict of interest with Cody's contract, basically. Cody wanted to do one. No, we can do the 40 Creek. I brought the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Cody decided he was gonna leave, and then not long after that, he's going back to WWE. And Cody, starting up the company, and then it was like, oh, Cody's got, the VP of the company, he's happy where he is, and, didn't see him returning to WWE, and then, like I said, it was essentially a conflict of interest in Cody's future with AEW. He wanted to do one thing, Tony Khan wanted him to do another thing. They couldn't come to an agreement. Cody ultimately decided to leave.
And I mean, he's had actually a pretty good career in WWE.
So far, yeah.
With the fact that, respect to him for the match with Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell.
Yes.
Which, by the way, ended this year, which
yeah.
I think the gimmick pay-per-views in general, except for Money in the Bank.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, I mean, that's, it's interesting in itself.
Yes.
But I know it's still early, but let's say thank you to a wonderful year. Thank you for watching.
Yes.
And next year, it'll be a lot stronger. And we'll see what happens maybe I will put him down in the chokehold so I can retain the title.
Yeah.
No, anyways. So Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anything else.
Here's to a hell of a year. Here's to the upcoming year. Who knows what the year will hold? But here's to you guys. To the new year. Thank you for subscribing to us, following us, all that other stuff, and we're going to be in for a hell of a ride of 2024.
Yeah, fuck. There's a lot of shit that's gonna happen this year, I swear. It's gonna be even better. And I say that every year, but I mean it. Like, we'll try new things, and we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah.
The trophy.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, I know at the beginning of the year I had my video camera, and then it broke, and now I recently was given this iPhone, and
Yeah.
yeah, here we are. So we will be talking to you in a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
And thank you for once again joining us for 2023. May 2024 be even better.
Yes, sir.